Sonic the Hedgehog has always been a very important part of gaming history, whether it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons.
Meow?
He has always been a central part of gaming. Now, whether you like the Blue Blur or you don't like the Blue Blur, nobody can deny the impact that he has had. And considering that he turns 35 next year, I kinda wanted to make this video talking about what he represents and why he's important. Why he's important to me and many others. This is kind of like a soft opinion piece. It's less about the games and more as Sonic as a character and the impact that he's had on my life. And I hope that people can relate. It genuinely might sound silly that a blue hedgehog that runs really fast has a serious impact on people's lives, but he does have a bigger impact on people's lives than you actually may think. And I, for one, am one of those people who Sonic has directly resonated with. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to tell you my entire backstory, but this video is going to get a little bit personal, so if you're not into that, then by all means wait until my next video. Now, as a 27-year-old man, I do have quite the lengthy history with Sonic. I've easily been playing this franchise for over 20 years, sometimes a bit on and off at times when the games just kind of felt a little bit meh, but I never forgot about the character of Sonic. Now, my first experience with any Sonic game was Sonic Heroes on the PS2. Now, I know that's going to get me crucified considering that is considered one of the worst versions of the game, but genuinely, I don't really see that many issues with it. I don't know if it's just because that's the version that I know or whatever, but I don't mind it that much. All I remember is that my parents came back from shopping wherever they went and they wanted to pick up a game for me and my brother. And they saw Sonic Heroes and brought it back. I think it was my mum's idea considering that she actually brought up my half-brother with Sonic, and because it was a familiar name, she instantly picked it up and brought it back for us. And literally from that moment, I was completely hooked on Sonic. I wanted to consume everything that was Sonic, whether that was comics, TV shows, video games, etc, etc. But my love for this franchise went beyond the games. It actually stretched towards the characters, and more importantly, Sonic as a character. The fact that Sonic stood for freedom, individuality, just being yourself without judgment, it just made things so clear to me, and it's something that I needed at that part in my life. And yes, by the way, before you ask, it is actually canon that Sonic hates oppression, which I'm all for. Without going into too many personal details, I was not a very popular kid at school, and my fellow pupils made sure that I knew all about that. I was the odd one out, I stood out, I was different. Everybody else was playing football or other sports, and I was just sort of in my own world, just minding my own business, and I guess that just didn't go down well with some people. And I won't lie to you, this pretty much continued through the entirety of my school life. From when I was very young to when I finally left school, it was just all the same, over and over and over again, and yeah, it wasn't fun, to say the least. This was back when being different and weird wasn't considered cool and trendy. Like, you would literally get physically assaulted by other kids just because you weren't like them, and that happened to me a considerable number of times. Sorry, I know I've gone on a tangent, trust me, this is relevant, I promise. For the longest time, I was ashamed to be who I really was. I tried to change myself though that other people could like me and just sort of leave me alone, and I eventually found out that that wasn't healthy, that I shouldn't be doing that. And one of the biggest ambassadors of that was Sonic. He reminded me that I shouldn't have to change for anyone. If people don't like me, then so be it, that's their problem. And listen, if you're actually physically hurting someone or whatever, then yes, of course, you should change yourself and better yourself to become a better person, but just simply being yourself and not hurting anyone, why should you have to change at all? And that to me is the message that Sonic has always sent, or at least that's what I get from it. In any form of Sonic media, Sonic is always incredibly supportive of his friends, and even his enemies at times. I'll use the OVA for example from the 90s. At the end of the movie, when Metal is about to die, Sonic is still desperately trying to save him, even though Metal literally tried to kill him. And that is so accurate to Sonic's character. He's literally been like that since the very start, and honestly, for that reason, I think he's a great role model for young kids. And I think that's a big reason as to why Sonic has always been popular. Yes, the movies have helped with that, and the comeback with the games has certainly helped with that as well. But because of Sonic's character and his nature and the fact that he's just so likable, I think that's the reason why this franchise didn't die. If this was any other franchise, dead in the water. Now, video games as a whole have always been an escape. I've been a massive gamer my entire life. Yes, Sonic isn't the only franchise that I play, but it is one that I am pretty passionate about, hence why I've made a channel all about him. But Sonic as a character and as a franchise has played a massively important role in my growth as a person, and I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's true. This franchise is so important to me, and the character of Sonic is so important to me. I'm going going to sound like such a basic bitch when I say this, but when somebody asks me who my favourite Sonic character is, I instantly say Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog's my favourite, because he's awesome. He doesn't let anyone change who he is, and he certainly doesn't want anyone changing his friends for who they are. He wants everyone around him to be who they are, who they're destined to be, and I just absolutely appreciate the fuck out of that. Sorry, that was definitely 100% a worthy F-bomb. And on top of all of that, he's just cool as hell, so how can you not like him? And listen, we all know that Sonic's had a bit of a rocky period, I mean several rocky periods to say the least, but with that being said, I kind of just want to finish this video with this. We came for the games, but we stayed for Sonic. Frontiers 2 could suck a big fat old donkey dick, but that's not going to make me hate the franchise, because I love the character and I love the characters in this franchise. So much so that I will never ever stop loving this franchise, and I'll never ever stop loving the character of Sonic the Hedgehog. I apologise for this completely out the blue and random video, but I won't lie to you guys, I've been wanting to make this video or a video like this for the longest time, and I finally got the courage to make it, I guess. That's if I even needed any. I really hope this video in some way has connected with some people, and that I'm not alone in thinking what I think about both the franchise and the character of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I say guys, I won't lie, Sonic the Hedgehog has got me through some very difficult times, and that's putting it mildly. And it's why this franchise and the character means so much to me, and I hope it means so much to others too. With that being said guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I apologise for the random drop, but I just really wanted to make this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.